The newest image circulating online has once again put the mysterious interstellar visitor 3I Atlas under an intense spotlight, but this time the intrigue has shifted to something trailing behind it. William Barnes, an amateur astronomer known in several small astronomy circles for his dedication to deep sky imaging, has just uploaded a photograph that has already sparked widespread discussion. What he captured was not the object he set out to document. Instead, he managed to photograph something he described as a large disc-shaped form, positioned close behind Atlas, and unlike anything he had ever encountered in his years of photographing celestial objects. Barnes explained that the photograph was taken during a routine attempt to capture updated imagery of Atlas. Like many skywatchers, he has been tracking the object's steady movement across the night sky as it continues its approach toward the inner solar system. On the night in question, he set up his equipment just after dusk and waited for the skies to settle into complete darkness. He positioned his telescope, adjusted his tracking software, and began a series of timed exposures, expecting nothing more than the faint, elongated streak of the interstellar object. To his surprise, one particular frame looked different. At first glance, it seemed brighter than usual, almost as if Atlas had flared. But as he zoomed in, the truth revealed itself in a clearer and far more unsettling shape. The luminous form trailing the object appeared wider, flatter, and distinctly disc-like. The edges looked too defined to be a smear of light caused by movement. The central glow stretched horizontally, giving the impression of something large, structured, and possibly rotating. Barnes said that in all his years of photographing satellites, asteroids, comets, and even fast-moving aircraft, nothing he had captured resembled this. He noted that the object held a shape with surprising symmetry, lacking the irregular edges that natural objects usually carry in long-exposure images. More striking still was its apparent proximity to Atlas. It was not drifting randomly through the frame. It seemed aligned with the same trajectory, almost as if it were following the interstellar visitor. After studying the image for nearly an hour, Barnes uploaded it to his social media accounts with a simple explanation. He believed he had accidentally photographed something accompanying Atlas. Within minutes, messages poured in from fellow astronomers, night sky enthusiasts, and those who have been following the growing mystery of the object. Some urged him to recheck his tracking software. Others asked for additional frames, but many responded instantly with the same thought he had quietly considered. Whatever this was, it looked like a structured craft. Barnes said that the most troubling part of the discovery was not just the object's shape, but the timing. For weeks, observers around the world have claimed that Atlas behaves differently from natural interstellar visitors. Its brightness fluctuates unpredictably, and its trajectory shows subtle adjustments that shouldn't occur without internal mechanisms. If those claims were true, then the presence of a second object, this disk trailing behind it, deepens the mystery significantly. He emphasized that he was not searching for anything unusual that night. His goal was simply to document another pass of the interstellar object. Yet the image he captured has now become one of the clearest pieces of visual evidence suggesting that something else might be traveling with Atlas. In the last few hours, a NASA insider, operating under the pseudonym Deep Signal 88, leaked a memo that has already gone viral across hidden corners of the web. This document, allegedly marked as NASA Internal for Eyes Only, details anomalies surrounding an object once designated as Comet Atlas. What makes the memo so astonishing is not simply its content, but the implication that this celestial body is not what the public has been told. The anonymous leaker emphasized in their opening statement that the object is not natural. They claimed that NASA internally refers to the body as Class 7, an apparent classification reserved for phenomena beyond traditional categorization. According to the leak, instructions were distributed internally to ensure that the narrative surrounding this object would be contained, scripted, and aligned with the standard cometary disintegration protocol. The public, it was stressed, could not be allowed to know the truth. Within the memo, one of the most shocking admissions was that the Deep Space Network recorded transmission 411C, an anomaly report that must be reviewed before it disappears from the system. The insider added that there are 17 days until the first major orbital deviation, an indication that the object would begin to move in ways inconsistent with natural celestial dynamics. What adds further intrigue is the claim that the account used to leak this information would be erased shortly after posting, making it impossible to track the insider's identity. The object in question has been observed for years by both professionals and amateur astronomers. Its disintegration in earlier observations was explained away as typical cometary behavior. Yet according to the memo, recent telescope data paints a different picture entirely. The object reportedly executed a course correction on camera, a maneuver impossible for natural bodies like comets or asteroids. NASA allegedly scrubbed 2 live feeds of the event, ensuring the anomaly would not be publicly witnessed. Amateur astronomers who had been tracking Atlas, however, logged its acceleration and deviations, confirming that the object's behavior is far from ordinary. The internal NASA memo, dated the 2nd of August, 2025, outlines a formal subject heading C 2019 Y4 Anomalous Behavior and Classification Update. It was marked as requiring Level 5 clearance, one of the highest security tiers, further underscoring its sensitive nature. The summary notes that the object exhibits accelerative properties inconsistent with Newtonian predictions, meaning its trajectory and motion could not be explained by known gravitational forces. Preliminary analysis, according to the memo, indicated non-gravitational influences of unknown origin. Even more remarkable were the surface scans, which suggested the body was composed of highly reflective composite material and emitted spectral anomalies. These are not traits of a natural icy comet breaking apart in solar radiation. Rather, they suggest artificial construction or unknown physical processes beyond the grasp of modern science. The memo then provides action items. Public discussion of Atlas is to be suspended outside of the scripted narrative of disintegration. All external communications are to be redirected to the standard cometary explanation, ensuring that mainstream outlets repeat the cover story. Unauthorized dissemination of information on digital platforms is to be neutralized under Operational Security Directive 12.4. In other words, suppression of any leaks was mandated, consistent with how swiftly threads, accounts, and videos discussing the anomaly have been disappearing online. The most disturbing part of the leaked memo lies in its confidential closing statement. The object appears to be under active vector control. This is language reserved for craft, not natural debris. It implies intentional maneuvering, as if Atlas is being guided or piloted. The memo concludes that operational silence must be maintained, with further intelligence pending from the Deep Space Network and NORAD intercepts. The insider's leak did not come without context. They warned that NASA has been deliberately concealing live data, scrubbing feeds that showed anomalous behavior. They urged the public to check the skies for themselves, as amateur astronomers had already logged the irregular acceleration. The implication is clear. Independent observers can confirm the truth if they know where to look and refuse to accept the sanitized narratives being issued. This revelation fundamentally changes the understanding of Atlas. What was once thought to be a disintegrating comet is now suggested to be an artificial body of immense scale. If true, it raises staggering possibilities. Is this a probe, a vessel, or an unknown construct of non-human origin? The idea that the object has reflective composite material and spectral anomalies suggests advanced engineering. Combined with course corrections and acceleration beyond gravitational influence, the evidence points toward a form of technology far beyond Earth's capabilities. The implications of such a disclosure, if confirmed, are profound. It suggests that humanity is not alone in the cosmos, and that advanced intelligences may already be navigating within our solar system. The 17-day timeline until major orbital deviation indicates that the world may soon witness a display too obvious to conceal, potentially forcing acknowledgement from institutions that have long downplayed or dismissed such phenomena. The actions listed in the leaked memo demonstrate the urgency with which NASA and related agencies intend to control the narrative. By instructing personnel to suspend all discussion outside scripted protocols, the agency seeks to prevent the public from questioning official explanations. The reference to digital suppression highlights how quickly information control can be enacted across platforms, as has already been observed when discussions of Atlas vanish from mainstream and alternative forums alike. Amateur astronomers and independent researchers now find themselves in a critical position. If the official feeds are scrubbed and institutional silence enforced, it is up to smaller observers to track the object and preserve evidence of its anomalies. The leak serves as both warning and call to action. to watch the skies, to record data, and to resist suppression. The claim that Atlas is under active vector control suggests intelligence behind its motion. This shifts the discussion from natural anomaly to contact scenario. If humanity is witnessing the controlled maneuvering of a non-human craft within our solar system, the implications touch every discipline, from astronomy to philosophy, geopolitics to religion. The potential confirmation of advanced intelligence, already aware of and interacting with Earth, would force a re-evaluation of humanity's place in the universe. The timing of this leak is also noteworthy. Coming in early August of 2025, it coincides with increased global discussion of unidentified aerial phenomena, disclosures from former officials, and a growing public demand for transparency. The possibility that this leak was strategically timed cannot be ignored. By releasing the memo ahead of the object's predicted orbital deviation, the insider may be ensuring that public attention cannot be redirected or silenced once the anomaly becomes undeniable. This event may represent a turning point in human history. For decades, whispers of cover-ups, hidden data, and classified encounters have circulated, often dismissed as speculation. Yet here, with the Atlas memo, there is a concrete glimpse into the internal acknowledgement of something extraordinary. It shows not only the recognition of an anomaly, but also the structured protocols for concealing it from the world. Whether humanity is ready or not, the leaked memo indicates that we are facing the reality of a non-natural object exhibiting controlled motion within our solar system. Its classification as Class 7 places it outside the boundaries of conventional science, suggesting a category reserved for objects of extraordinary or unexplainable nature. In the coming days, as the 17-day countdown advances, attention will turn to the skies. Observers worldwide will attempt to track Atlas, to capture the orbital deviation, and to document evidence before it can be scrubbed. The public has been warned by one of NASA's own: watch carefully, because natural bodies do not perform course corrections. Detected by NASA on the 1st of July, this anomaly has generated significant interest from both professional astronomers and the general public. As data about its movement and characteristics continues to unfold, researchers are increasingly divided over its true nature. While more than 200 scientists have labeled the object a likely comet, others, including prominent Harvard physicist Avi Loeb, have raised serious doubts that point in a different direction entirely, one that considers the possibility of engineered technology from beyond Earth. A central issue in this ongoing debate is that the object appears to lack a visible tail, a feature that typically characterizes comets as they approach the Sun. Loeb has expressed skepticism about the initial claims of a tail, noting that due to the object's acceleration and relatively small size, what observers might perceive as a tail could actually be a distorted image caused by the object's rapid movement across the field of view of Earth-based telescopes. He argues that the illusion of a tail can occur when a fast-moving object stretches in appearance due to telescope limitations rather than due to actual gas or dust emissions. Adding to the mystery is the object's complete lack of observed gas emissions. This is highly unusual for a comet-like body, which would generally exhibit some sort of coma, a cloud of gas and dust surrounding its nucleus. Loeb also drew attention to the object's highly precise retrograde orbit, which happens to align closely with the plane of the inner solar system. The precision of this trajectory, according to him, is too uncanny to ignore and raises the possibility that it may not be a natural object at all. To assess the likelihood of artificial origin, Loeb has introduced what he calls the Loeb scale, a numerical system designed to evaluate how probable it is that a given celestial object was engineered rather than naturally formed. On this scale, he gave the object a 6 out of 10. While that score is far from definitive proof, it does indicate that in his view, the odds lean slightly toward an artificial explanation. Loeb has acknowledged that the ranking is subject to change as new data becomes available, but he believes the current indicators justify further scrutiny. Among the more speculative yet intriguing hypotheses Loeb has presented is the idea that Atlas could be a type of interstellar spacecraft, perhaps a mothership, releasing smaller probes into Earth's vicinity. From an engineering standpoint, he suggests, a more plausible method of exploration would involve a large vessel deploying mini-probes, which would then utilize a maneuver known as a reverse Oberth maneuver. This maneuver involves using the Sun's gravitational force at the closest point in the object's orbit called perihelion, to reduce speed efficiently. This technique would allow the probes to adjust their trajectory toward Earth without requiring massive amounts of fuel. Based on the orbital calculations, Loeb estimated that if such probes were deployed, they could be expected to reach Earth sometime between the 21st of November and the 5th of December in the year 2025. The object's expected position behind the Sun in October provides a strategic opportunity for a covert approach, one that would shield it from direct Earth-based observation. Loeb has made it clear that the implications of such an event are vast. According to him, humanity must prepare itself for both welcoming and defensive outcomes. If the object is truly artificial, it could mean that intelligent life has discovered or visited Earth. The possibilities range from peaceful contact to more disruptive outcomes, and for this reason, Loeb believes that preparation is essential. On the other side of the scientific community, many remain critical of Loeb's theories. Chris Lintott, an astronomer from the University of Oxford, publicly dismissed Loeb's proposal as implausible and unhelpful, viewing it as a distraction from the serious scientific work being conducted to understand the object's nature. Nonetheless, Loeb stands by his work, emphasizing that his analysis is based on observed data rather than speculation. In a recent paper, Loeb reported that telescope observations collected between the 2nd and 29th of July revealed a notable reddening in the appearance of Atlas. This reddening could be attributed to a layer of dust or perhaps organic compounds on its surface. However, this interpretation is not conclusive. The red hue might simply suggest that the object has a naturally red surface, similar to D-type asteroids or other ancient weathered celestial bodies. Furthermore, spectroscopic data collected from 3 separate studies, along with Loeb's, failed to detect any atomic or molecular gases typically present in a cometary coma. This further complicates the classification of the object and supports Loeb's view that it may not be a comet at all. He stressed the need for continued observation as Atlas approaches perihelion. Tracking changes in its color, brightness, or activity could provide more decisive clues regarding the object's composition and origin. Looking ahead, Loeb has proposed a daring initiative to intercept Atlas using NASA's Juno spacecraft, which is currently orbiting Jupiter. He argues that this is a rare opportunity for what he calls interstellar archaeology, a chance to examine a visitor from another star system up close. The mission would require rapid planning and significant coordination, but could provide unprecedented insight into the nature of interstellar objects. Beyond scientific exploration, Loeb has called for broader institutional preparedness. He believes that global governments should already be establishing specialized task forces that include not only scientists, but also policymakers and psychologists. These groups would be responsible for developing strategies to respond appropriately if the object turns out to be artificial, as well as considering how to communicate such findings to the public in a calm and constructive manner. He warned that Earth remains vastly unprepared for such a discovery, especially one that might occur with little warning. Even if Atlas is confirmed to be artificial, Loeb admits that there is little Earth could do from a technological standpoint. The object is traveling at nearly 60 miles per second relative to Earth, a velocity far exceeding the capabilities of current rocket propulsion systems. As a result, intercepting or engaging with it directly poses an enormous challenge. Loeb has also reflected on the broader philosophical implications of Atlas. If the object is a technological artifact, he believes there are essentially 2 possible interpretations. Either its purpose is benevolent, or it carries unknown and potentially risky intentions. In the benign case, the object could represent a gesture of peace or curiosity, and humanity's best course of action would be to receive it with openness and caution. However, in the alternative scenario, where intentions are less favorable, the potential consequences could be significant. To navigate this uncertainty, Loeb has invoked the philosophical reasoning of Blaise Pascal, who argued that it is more rational to believe in a higher power given the possible eternal benefits versus the relatively minor loss if that belief turns out to be wrong. In Loeb's view, a similar logic applies to Atlas. Even if it ultimately proves to be a naturally occurring object, the consequences of ignoring the possibility that it is artificial could be far more serious than the cost of investigating and preparing unnecessarily. As the scientific community continues to monitor this mysterious visitor, its mysterious qualities remain a point of intense curiosity and debate. Whether it is a rare cosmic traveler made of dust and rock, or a silent messenger from distant intelligence, its journey through our solar system has prompted humanity to look both outward into space and inward into the questions that define its place in the universe. In an era of advanced technology and scientific exploration, the unexpected appearance of a massive circular object on weather radar above Mexico has stirred intrigue and speculation. Detected by an online user monitoring atmospheric conditions, this anomaly has captured the attention of UFO enthusiasts and the general public. On a seemingly ordinary day, weather radar systems across Mexico picked up an unusual and massive circular object high above the country. This object, unlike any typical meteorological phenomenon, presented as a well-defined circular formation, prompting immediate curiosity and concern among meteorologists. The radar signature was first noticed by someone who was looking through the application, with them saying that they were monitoring routine weather patterns. The object appeared as a large, circular anomaly with clear edges, distinguishable from the surrounding weather data. Initial assessments suggested that the object was stationary at a high altitude, but its precise nature remained unclear. News of the detection spread quickly through public channels, with online users speculated as to what could have been causing this mysterious anomaly. Social media platforms were abuzz with speculation, and news outlets began reporting on the mysterious object. The appearance of such a distinct and massive object on weather radar has led to numerous hypotheses, ranging from conventional meteorological phenomena to more exotic theories. One of the more mundane explanations is that the object could be a weather balloon. However, this was very quickly rejected due to the size of the object. Certain atmospheric conditions can create unusual radar reflections. However, the precise circular shape and the lack of corresponding visual phenomena make this explanation less convincing. Some suggest that the object could be a military or experimental aircraft. Given the size and altitude, it could be part of a classified operation involving advanced technology. Governments often conduct tests that are not disclosed to the public, and such an explanation could account for the secrecy and peculiar radar signature. Nonetheless, no official statements or confirmations have been made by military authorities. The most interesting hypothesis is that the object is an extraterrestrial craft. UFO enthusiasts have pointed to the precise circular shape and the stationary position as evidence supporting this theory. This object, distinct from any known meteorological phenomenon, appeared on radar screens as a well-defined stationary formation. Its size and shape resembled that of a colossal disk, leading to immediate curiosity and concern among the observers. The object was first detected by a weather radar station, which initially registered it as a potential atmospheric anomaly. However, further analysis revealed that the object maintained a consistent altitude and showed a solid, dense radar signature, distinguishing it from typical weather formations like clouds or storm systems. The anomaly measured over 100 miles in diameter, making it significantly larger than any known aircraft or natural atmospheric occurrence. The detection of such a massive unidentified object has led to various hypotheses, ranging from conventional to extraordinary. The scientific community has traditionally been skeptical of UFO sightings due to a lack of credible evidence. However, the detailed radar data and pilot observations in this case provide a compelling basis for further study. Interdisciplinary research involving radar technology, aerospace engineering, and atmospheric science is crucial for understanding and potentially explaining such phenomena. From a security perspective, the appearance of a massive unidentified object in national airspace is a cause for concern. Many users who saw the anomaly said that the Mexican government, along with international allies, must assess the potential threat posed by such objects. This incident may prompt increased investment in advanced radar and tracking systems, as well as the development of protocols for responding to UAP encounters. Public interest in UFOs has been reignited by this event, highlighting the enduring fascination with extraterrestrial life and unexplained phenomena. The incident has sparked widespread media coverage and discussion, contributing to a growing movement advocating for transparency and disclosure regarding UFO sightings. Governments and scientific institutions may face increasing pressure to release information and conduct open investigations into unidentified objects. Regardless of the object's true nature, its detection has broader implications for science, public perception, and the discourse surrounding unidentified aerial phenomena. The detection of the circular object has reignited public interest in UFOs and unidentified aerial phenomena. This event has been added to the growing list of unexplained occurrences that captivate the public imagination. Such incidents often prompt discussions about the limitations of our current scientific understanding and the possibility of extraterrestrial life. As of right now, the detection of a massive circular object on weather radar above Mexico remains a mystery, challenging our understanding of atmospheric phenomena and the capabilities of current technology.